once again, a huge thank you to all of our financial supporters. Firstly, our supporters over at patreon.com/878survivor.fm, all of our production managers. We cannot thank you all enough for your continued ongoing support. All of your names are there on the screen right now. A big shout out to our producer, Red Freedom. Mate, 18 months, you're an absolute mad lad. Cannot thank you enough. Also, we have to give a big shout out to all of our growing YouTube members, all of our new tier, the Emote Bandits, our existing tier, the 87.8 Survivors, and a special shout out to our podcast bosses, whose names are again all on the screen right there. I cannot thank you all enough. Please keep up the support. It helps our show go on each and every week, and we get to do great giveaways, and our end of year Christmas episode is going to be an absolute cracker this year, folks. All the best, and we hope you enjoy this week's show.
Hello there. I'm back with Cobra.
Hey,
hello everybody.
how you doing?
Hello everybody. I am back for episode 125 of the DayZ podcast. I'm joined today by Cobra, our brand new co-host. Welcome to the team, mate. How you doing?
Very good, lad. Thank you. Good to be here. Been an interesting week. Not as interesting as yours.
Oh, mate, didn't I get started, honestly. I've had a week from, well, I wouldn't say a week from hell, but it's certainly been interesting. Context, guys, my office got flooded. Now I have to work an hour away. I don't drive. It's not great. But yes, I am back. It's been a very interesting couple of weeks. As everybody knew, I knew it's his voice. Mashed his face. Yep, the face made him lecture me even more. Damn it. I assume that's about you, Cobra. Yes, we got a face reveal from a good boy Cobra as well, so bask in his glory.
This is the first face reveal of the Cobra.
Absolutely. And no idea where Lemons is. I've already confirmed with him that he said he was going to be on, so I assume he's just running a little bit late. Lemons is Lemons, thus the title. But yeah, I took a break for a couple of weeks. It's nice to see everybody in chat, a lot of familiar names. I'm really happy to see you all, guys, and we've got the energy. We're back. We're good to go. How's everyone been tonight? I hope, tonight in the past couple of weeks, I hope everyone's been doing good. I hope Lemons and the rest of the team have looked after you. The bloody better have. Swear to God. But yes, we've had updates. We've had a lot of interesting things happening in the community and the updates. Yeah. Been a bit of a divisive one, I think. 119. But I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. How's you been for the past 2 weeks while I've been gone, Cobra? What's been going on?
Well, let's just get this 119 spoken about, shall we? So, okay, so I've been testing this out quite a lot, and I've had a lot of messages come through around all of the normal stuff, the latest bugs.
Yeah.
Halloween bloody zombies.
Yeah.
Completely overpowered.
Yeah.
The Humvee, when you do eventually find it, it's quite interesting when you start driving it. Then you suddenly stop for whatever reason, and you need to turn the engine off.
Yeah,
and you turn it back on to be able to bloody move it again. So
it's certainly
interesting.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Interesting.
It's typical. It's typical DayZ, in it, but
yeah,
it is a bit better. The vehicles are, well, you can actually drive off map with them now. You can actually drive off map with them.
Yeah.
You're not going to ruin the vehicle, and it works quite well. But there is obviously those certain issues. So I think it's every vehicle. I've tried 3 or 4 different vehicles out, and the Ada is fine. Saka seems to be possibly okay as its moments, but the M3S or the Humvee, you are going to be stopping that, turning the engine off, and then getting back in, turning the engine back on to move again.
Yeah,
majority of the time.
It's been really weird. I haven't been able to actually play the game properly because, like I said, I've been off for the past couple of weeks, so I've took a proper good break. I've only managed to keep somewhat involved in the main conversations about the update. I've seen a couple of things that's been going on. I know in the recent hot fix they have patched the issue where if you reverse in, I believe it was the truck, it'll completely just wreck it. And if you can hear popping in the background, that is fireworks. Fucking fireworks. But yeah, it's been a fantastic update. Like, there's been a lot of really interesting things that's been happening under the hood from what I've seen, from what I've personally tested. But yeah, vehicles have been a bit funky.
But they've not
expected.
been as bad though as I thought they may be. To be fair, so for instance, the traction on the vehicles are a lot better now, off road and on road. So that's a positive. I think generally it is quite positive. I think the whole thing's quite positive, but there are obviously always going to be these little things that need ironing out.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, the way that I've kind of seen this update is that, obviously we've had some new tech being brought in, and it's kind of like the first generation. So of course the first integration of it is going to have issues, which everybody has seen.
Yes.
But they have been addressing some things about it. So we can only hope that they continue to develop it and to continue to make it better. From what I have tried of it, though, vehicles are fun. They're really, really fun. I love them. I really, really like them.
Well, to be fair, I've only written off Ruined, that is, 2 on official servers out of about 10. So, and that was with your normal bugs of it suddenly veering off the road. But I have not had anything in the air at all. I've not had any of those silly old things.
Yeah, I have played on servers where they're using virtualization. They're pretty not great performance, but I haven't been launched in the air, which is nice.
Me neither.
I do know that there is the bug where you get launched like a million miles per hour to like a corner of the map.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
But I haven't come across that lately, so I can only assume that they've mitigated that. Petty Weddy, thank you very much for the €10, and they said £10 there. But thank you very much appreciated. Receding Man, hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Starsick, welcome to the stream. But I'm still annoyed that they don't allow you to repair your car radiator.
Yeah, you need a new one, don't you?
I'm still annoyed by that. You got stuff that allows you to repair everything else, the fender, the bloody body, everything like that. But car radiator, no fam, no.
Well, speaking of which, Weber wants to put out his latest video with the blowtorch.
Yeah, I watched that.
I saw that.
And
me too.
I really love that video. I was actually like I was watching downstairs. I was watching anticipation, like, okay, does it actually repair the car radiator? Because I haven't tested. Does it actually do it? And then when he said it doesn't, I was like, sick.
everything else, but I think so. Yeah, happy days. Nearly.
Nearly, yeah, we'll go with that. Nearly. But
it's better than it was.
It absolutely, definitely. And have you played much of Livonia? Have you gotten to the underground bunker yet?
Yes. So okay. So in one of my actually just put out building a new video as we speak actually, but on this one I've been working on. This is a little bit naughty, but so I raided a base that had the new Humvee in it, and it obviously had the card key in it as well. So we've given it a little visit. Now, check this out. So some of you may have seen, and of course it's going to happen, especially on official, because on mods you've got rules. But on official, people have started to kind of fence off the bunker.
Yes, I have seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, it's kind of a controversial thought in the community about whether people should be allowed to do that or not.
Agreed. Personally, I don't think they should be allowed. However, I've had some good content from someone doing that, and us getting in it and raiding it and sorting it out. So, I think you can look at it both ways. For people that haven't got necessarily the raid tools available, or nades or an M79 available with 10 bloody explosive rounds, then they're not going to get in a bunker, are they? They're going to have to change servers. But I think for anyone that's on there long enough and has got those type of materials, it could be interesting. Not something I want to see really, but it is what it is. It brings another dynamic to it.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to that, it's like, I do think that people should be allowed to build anywhere. Sure, it's a bit scummy that you build in the entrance like the bunker, but to me it's like, right, you open the door, you got 15 minutes, let's see how much damage you can do.
Yeah. Well, I actually saw a really interesting build on this one. So what they've done was they watchtowered the front of it up with 2 separate fence kits either side. And I did see someone put out a video last week where, obviously on a modded server, where they probably shouldn't have done it, but they've got like bloody stacked the walls about six deep. I mean, I think you find the admins are going to be very quickly removing that, but you know, it is what it is. I did see it; it looked quite funny, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yes, we have been in the bunker, and we have had some interesting interactions, believe it or not, in that bunker. Just remember, guys, you need 2 people really if you're going to go through the entire bunker. One to let the water up and down. So be careful there.
Absolutely, yeah. I have heard a lot of fantastic things about the bunker. I still haven't. I've only been there in testing mods, because like my lighting overhaul mod, which has just reached, not long surpassed 15,000 subs. So I'm chuffed with that.
Good.
That bunker development aspect of it is a pain in the arse. Like, whoever coded that and like developed the whole system around that, you've got my respect, but you're also a dick. You couldn't have made it simple to work with, could you? But no, it's absolutely brilliant from what I've seen. But I'm yet to do it like in a proper playthrough, and I can't wait. I really, really can't wait. Being in like a full server, spending like quite some time with a group of people trying to get like the punch card and getting there. Ooh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, I think most people know now how to get the punch card. So think of the zombies at the checkpoints with the holsters on. For those that don't know, you know, make sure you go and deal with those. Sometimes they've got them on them. But no, all in all, I think it's quite well built. It's quite entertaining, really, especially if you get trapped in it for a little while.
Yeah.
Remember your night vision; that might help. But no, generally, I think it's a very good addition. To be fair, I enjoyed it.
No, it's fantastic, and you know, I really can't wait to see what else they kind of like introduce to that, because it's a really interesting system, because you can't get it working for any map, and the way that it works, it is limited at the moment. It's like 32 bits of it, like 32 like sections that you're allowed. But if you're smart with it, you can do a lot. And the fact that you can place the door anywhere, like with the DayZ editor, place the door anywhere, and then the panel very close to it, you can activate it without doing any extensive coding or scripting or anything like that. It's just plug and play. Really, really nice. So I can't wait to see what map editors do with it.
Well, I think there is scope looking at it. Again, if you look at it in testing, you can obviously see the whole thing underground anyway. So I have had a look at the testing side of it, and I think there's a little bit more they could really do. But the one thing I do think they've done really well is the back entrance or exit. The time span, 10 seconds, whatever. I think it's 10 seconds anyway, to get out. I think even if people are camping those areas, you know, that yes, it makes a bit of a noise, but 10 seconds isn't a long time.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
You do have every chance of getting away, you know, successfully. So I like how they've done that, because they could have just left it open for like 5 minutes, you know, or something silly. So yeah, I think they've done well, to be fair with that.
It was a really good idea, the way that they've gone about it. It's really, really cool. You know, there was a lot of teasers over the year about what they were planning on doing, and everyone knew we were going to get it, but we just didn't realise how good it would actually be. So, you know, props to the team for actually doing that.
It looks good as well.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh, it looks fantastic. Really, really cool. And one thing, something I kind of briefly wanted to talk about in the last episode, but I never did. And I kind of brought this up with DOJ, and then somebody in the community actually found it. So, in one of the models is vines, and you think, oh, it's just normal vines, but they're like chunky, massive vines, and they've got yellow stuff glowing from the tips of it, and it's kind of like broke apart in the middle. And I think it's on the second base level, or basement level. You can actually see it poke through the rubble, just a little bit.
Right. Okay.
And on the lore aspect, it's kind of, because I'm really interested in like the story and the lore of DayZ. Yeah, DOJ. Yeah, he knows the score. Little shit. It's from Arma 3, but it's kind of like, is this going to lead into something more? Is this just an Easter egg or not? It's kind of really interesting. I really like the direction the team has been going, especially over the past year. Scotty's been doing absolutely fantastic with helming that, especially doing the Yellow King. Actually, that reminds me. Have you seen the behind the scenes video that they posted?
I saw a little bit. I didn't see all of it. Yeah.
Oh, mate, it is so good. I'm gonna have to find it.
Have you got it up in there?
I'm gonna get it up now.
Yeah.
Hello,
While
Reckless.
you're doing that. Is that Reckless on, is it? Hello, mate. How are you?
On GameSpot, of all things.
Well, I'll tell you what I did find funny while you're finding that video is the Halloween zombies that have appeared. So,
yes.
of a night time, especially on officials. So, they are double the strength. I thought it was a player. I must admit. It was getting dark. I was sitting there on a live, ready to go, and I saw this light, and I was sitting there going, is that a player? Is that a player? So we're creeping over, ready to take the shot, and it's a Z with a Halloween night vision hat on it. Mate, they are brutal. They are brutal. 4 of them. I got knocked out. So yeah, interesting stuff.
I kind of saw that, and I was quite. I mean, we kind of talked about it in the last episode, and but it's
Peggy
really
18.
Bloody hell! That blew up. Really interesting what they've done with it, and we kind of knew it was going to happen when they brought out the improvised bandages. There was the running joke like, "Oh, you're going to dress up as the mummy," but
yeah,
I didn't expect it to be that that OP.
they are strong. They are very, very strong. Yeah.
Well, it's absolutely worth it. Right, so I've got the video up. I can't remember if it's got copyrighted music on it, so we'll just play it as normal. This is from GameSpot trailers. I believe it's probably ripped from Twitter. I'm going to up my quality. You think I'm doing this on 480p? You got another thing coming.
Can't even see it in that 480. Jeez.
Yes. The right corner. Slot in.
Still thinking about it, is it?
I just love the attention to detail.
Mine's a little delayed. Got it.
Again, I love the attention to detail that's got to put into like actually setting everything up. It was really, really awesome.
Yeah, funny enough, I did see that fully. Actually, I thought I'd only seen half of it, but I have seen all that. Yeah. It is very well done, as normal.
Yeah, and obviously we can't forget what DOJ has also been working on as well for a little bit of the time. Have you seen the helmet?
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I'm really happy with like how it turned out for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Very good.
he actually posted on Reddit like an actual like walkthrough tutorial on how to make it yourself. And I mean, I'm bringing it up on stream now, but It's so good. So good.
Yeah, and the thing is, you find them everywhere right now. They're quite heavily spawned, so easy to do. Does look interesting.
Mm. No.
And the yellow.
And the yellow. But no, there's been some really nice attention to detail with like what he's done there, and it just seems like everything, everything that's been going on with this update and surrounding it and the hype about it, when it gets to the point where even like the people behind the game are going out there and making this stuff, and since then there's been like a massive outpour of community members, fans of the game, creating like, you know, the Yellow King helmet. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely bloody phenomenal.
Yeah, they've done a very good job. It does look good as well. So I do see a lot of people running around with these on.
The only time I ever found it was when it was first introduced in like XP, and like I think it was 117, 118, one of the other older updates. And that was once, and that was on Livonia. I had to go to that castle just to get it.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. Well, they're all over the place at the moment.
Yeah.
Right now, they're bloody everywhere. So
it's a lot of Yellow Kings.
yeah.
Simon Vic, thank you very much for coming to the stream. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's really awesome, and I'm just really happy with how like things are just generally going.
I think there's a lot.
Oh, go on.
I think there's a lot more to come, and I think this is a really good direction they're heading in. Mm-hmm. So if they can keep this up, then I think we're going to be in for a few more surprises next patch. I think it'll be quite interesting.
Oh, definitely, and I know, you know, we've had the channel called 119 Feedback Chat, and there has been so much stuff going on in there that I haven't even been able to keep up with. It is absolutely bloody crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely bloody crazy.
I must admit, I've not looked too much into a view on about what the feedback has been for all of that. I've not really had a chance to look into that too much, but
yeah. I mean, some people, you know, people talking about the inertia. You know, Jur said here on the 21st of October, saying this, you know, inertia good, has bugs, which is true. You know, it does have bugs, but it's gotten better over the past couple of weeks, which is really nice.
Getting stuck on doors every 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
It has got better though since they brought that fix out a little bit. It is a little bit better.
I will say I haven't really found myself being stuck on doors anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Well, what I've kind of find now is over the last couple of days is that you'll open up a shed or a door and it will push you to the left or right of it, mainly to the right of it. So instead of being able to run straight forward into a building, it will push you to the right majority of the time. Then you've got to come back a little bit and then get back in. So I think the getting stuck was the original problem when it first hit. Now they've kind of changed it to pushing you a little bit, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite used to it now, to be fair. I didn't like it at first, but I'm getting there now with it. So yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I am seeing, you know, as I was saying, seeing a lot more servers starting to remove the inertia changes that were implemented.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which to me is a bit of a shame because I really like the inertia. If I was to have a server, I would have it full on.
I just think you're going to have to get used to it. I think it's the same as first person, third person, and if you change from one of them, if you change from either of those, if you're normally a first person or a third person and you change to the other, you're gonna hate it to start with, but it's gonna take you a couple of weeks maybe. But once you get used to it, you're probably never gonna go back. Yeah. That's what I'd say. So that's what I've done. I've got used to it.
I mean, I've had a healthy dose of a bit of both. And I've been playing on, you know, I've got a couple of Prime servers I like to play on, which one of them is Sawyer Crowd's servers. And I also play on Life, which is done by Cracks.
Yes. I met you on there, didn't I?
I think so. You probably did. And And oh well, not me, but my friends. I just
It's one
remember
of your
on the
friends.
mask.
I killed one of your
Yeah.
friends on there.
Yes. Oh mate,
Shit.
I was talking to them about that video, and they were kind of like laughing on about it, and one of them was like, "Did he log after that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't.
No.
I'm pretty sure he
Watch
didn't."
the video.
Yeah, I said to him that you got to watch the second video, and he's like, "Oh, I bet he just shows him logging," and then it shows you getting blown up by a landmine. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that would work. That would do it. That would definitely do it. But, God, I really enjoyed the life servers, but they have switched the inertia off, and
Okay.
I completely understand why. Don't get me wrong, I really do. Not everybody likes the new system that was put in, but
Yeah.
like I said, if I was to have my own server, I would have it full on, and it's
Yeah,
nice
same
to
here.
see that they have got something in place to allow for that, and it could possibly open up for modding as well to see. Maybe it could be tied into weight of your character instead of just being
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a 1
Absolutely.
or 0,
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean.
But just looking at the the comments in this channel here, the 545 buff, I think it's too much. Base value should get scaled down. AK-74 outperforms the AKM. Also,
Yes.
AK-74 bullet velocity is poo. But maybe they have some plans or reasoning behind it. I do think AKM is too rare now.
Yeah. Actually, it's a good point. It's a good point. I've not found an AKM for ages. So.
Neither have I, to be fair. Receding Man, thanks for coming into the stream. And yes, I have actually. But maybe I have the time, I don't know. I haven't fully decided yet. But the 545 statistically is a better cartridge than the 762. It's lighter, but it does, it travels further. It's got more penetration, as far as I can remember rightly. But yeah, the 762 is a heavier round. Packs more of a punch, in certain aspects. But I think that's probably the direction they've gone with. I haven't fully seen. I haven't been on Warbur's website or anything like that in a while, so I haven't seen how much better it outperforms.
Yeah, I've not either. I've not seen any statistics for that since the last update. Anyway.
Yeah, I do firmly believe that the AK-74 should be better than the AKM, but only slightly. To me, there should be that natural progression of the AK platform. You've got your AK-74, then your AKM, then your AK-74, and then the AK-101. That should what it should be, in my opinion. And maybe they're leaning towards that. I don't know. But not a lot of people have been liking that buff, which is a shame. But I kind of understand at the same time. So it's kind of
Yeah, interesting one, that. I need to do a little bit more work on that myself, actually. And
I am going to
get a bit more.
I am going to look into it a little bit more. Because I know Mike Dockley, who's talking quite a lot about it, was also talking about it in this chat as well. I do recall that. So I'm probably just going to revisit that information to see realistically or authentically or whatever phrase you want to use, which would be better and which would be more suited for the game. But Enduro was saying as well, damaged items, there needs to be a way to fix some things temporarily. For instance, car radiator, yes, should be fixable by duct tape or epoxy for a short amount of time. Could be done similarly to bandages in the disinfected tag, but instead it could be called temporary fix or something. Also, one pristine item should last longer. Livonia, love the changes, but I think it needs more love.
Okay, so Livonia, right.
Mm.
Okay, so south of the map, the last south quarter of the map, other than take Swarog, the shooting range out, possibly Geralto. No, in fact, no, Dolnit. Take those out of it. There's still massive open swathes of woodlands.
Yeah.
They have added in a couple of buildings, and they've added that little quarry, that little tiny quarry thing a little bit further down south as well. But for a map that size, I think that's probably about right. I think there could be a little bit more added in. Whether they extend a town or two, whether they, I don't know whether they added a couple of extra little bits somewhere down that way. I think it would probably make sense a little bit. I get why they haven't,
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah,
I think the best thing that needs to happen for that map is the spawns need overhauling now. Because if you get a toppling spawn,
you can
You-
be.
you're
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
You're set.
Yeah.
You just literally need to travel straight south, and you're at the bunker.
You're at the bunker. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing on that east side of the map
It's
really
not enticing.
military.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got town. You've got literally Sidnick, Geralto, grabbing that side, haven't you?
Mm.
Up the top,
yeah.
and then Dolnick right down the bottom, which is kind of halfway around a little bit. But yeah, military-wise, you're not going to go down that route.
No, the east side, like civilian wise, yeah, great. You know, there's some really interesting towns, some interesting sites to see, but military, which we all know is a main driving part of
Yeah.
players,
Yeah.
there's nothing really there. Now,
Mm.
before first off, thank you Rambo for subscribing, much appreciated. But I do think that more spawns need to be focused on the top right corner of the map, away from Toplin, away from Brenner. You know, maybe a couple kind of like that. So when you spawn in this corner, instead of going like straight south to get to where you need to, it's a nice healthy, like, you can go west to go to those kind of like towns, and then you can travel south across the river, or you can travel straight south across the river to get the towns there, and then you can head naturally towards the southwest to get to the bunker. I think that's what they should focus on more, because Livonia, to me, it's like a much more different vibe. It's a much more different feeling what they're trying to go for with Chernarus. And
Yeah,
Chernarus has cultivated the kind of like the best loot routes that you can
Yes.
possibly get. Like,
Yeah.
no other map has come close. And I
No.
think it's going to be very difficult for any map.
but it's
to
the
do
same
that.
old routine, isn't it? The first map is probably always the best in any
Yeah.
game, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But the thing with Chernarus is, as we all know, I mean, you can go Belota, you can go Zlenogorsk, you can, Gorka over the other side, you can VMC, it's endless really, northwest, Tizzy. All right, a lot of that is westerly, but you've still got other military zones.
Yeah.
Even in Novi, you've got other military areas where you can pick up. I mean, going back to Livonia, east of the map, you are going to be looking at hunter stands or the odd shotgun all the way down that route, and you're only going to find really a Tundra or a Blaze maybe in the hunter stands down that way. So you're not going to find M16s. You're not going to find many. There's not a lot of heli sites down that way. There is inland east a little bit, but as you know, a majority of those sites are mid through the map. So yeah, it's. I do think it does need a little bit on that eastern side. Something.
Absolutely. No, it definitely does. And, the work that has been put in the map, it has been great. Do I kind of think that there should be a little bit more? Maybe. I personally really like the expansive forests that they have in the south of the map. I always kind of have. But at the same time, before the update, I didn't really like how there wasn't really anywhere to go south, so what was the point?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
But now there is.
There is now. It's just that easterly, southeasterly type of edge of the map, and down to the pretty much middle of the map, southwise. There's only Dolnick, isn't there, really, down that way?
Now there needs to be a reason to go down there.
Yeah.
And it's not just prepping for the bunker. There needs to be something enticing to go down there. And I do know that, and I think it was one of someone on the Zero servers, and I think Mike was also saying as well, or somebody in this Discord, talking about the toxic zones and their placement. You got the airfield in the north, and it's the town that begins with an R. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. Radunin, I think it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I don't like their placement. There's just no sense to it in my eyes.
Well, it's
Like-
straight down the middle of the map, both of them, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what's the point? To me, they should have made the bottom tier of the underground a toxic zone. The bottom.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I can see your point with it. I think personally, all right, this is my view. Personally, I think it's not readily easy to find that bunker card if you're a fresh spawn making one life, making it all the way down south.
Yeah.
You can't guarantee you're going to find that card on that straight away. All right, so to get into the bunker, bearing in mind if it's a full server, you know everyone's going to be there sniping anyway,
Yeah.
or camping up anyway. So I think once you get in there, the loot is obviously some of the highest tier loot about, but it's a bit of a mission to get there, get in it. Getting there's fine, but getting in it. So if you made it toxic, I think all you'd do is you just have campers all day, every day. Not half the day. You'd have it all day, I think.
Yeah, that is a fair point. That is a really fair point. I
But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, yep, it's it's great to obviously toxic zones are really great, and and Shanaris, you've got Pavlovo military, and then you got the shipwreck, which is pretty interesting. It gives you a reason to go.
Riffy.
Riffy, yeah. So you've got a reason to go in map to get your NBC stuff to then go back. Great,
Yes.
no problem at all. But Livonia, it's kind of like, right, it's just plonked in the North airfield. If you're smart about it, you can rush in, get your punch card, come out, get yourself sorted, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to the town, the other town that's kind of got the red zone, it's like, what's the point in going in there? I'm just going to avoid it. There's nothing in there for me.
Do you know what? I agree with that because I generally do run past it. I don't very, very rarely go in it. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. And to be fair, there's only a couple of real buildings, unless you want meds, there's only a couple of real barracks you go in.
Yeah.
And that is on the road down from Lemberg. So, literally south from Lemberg. So, other than that, I do tend to miss it out myself.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, as Sawyer says in the chat, the problem with Livonia is still you don't have a reason to go back up north again, and that's very true.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, sure, yeah, you can kill some freshies. That's everybody's done that. You can't say, oh no, I don't kill freshies. Bullshit. Yes, you do. But apart from that, it's like, what is the point? Like, why travel back up north? And but Livonia's, it is like a hard map. It's designed purposely to be a hard map.
Yeah, I mean,
but there needs to be more POIs.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it a slightly different way, I'd say, and that is because everyone does that now on Livonia. They spawn north, they make their way south. Everyone does it. So what people have started, I think what they've started to do, and I think you're going to have a little new wave of this, is where they're going to actually put their base building is going to be north. It's going to be Ilower Woods or Lucal North, or I've seen quite a lot happening over there over the last couple of weeks, especially on console. I've seen that a lot. So that's the only other reason you'd come back up there, I think.
Yeah.
But other than that, you ain't. You're staying south.
Well, that's it, pretty much. And as Josie says, it's the way the tier system is on Livonia. Chino's semi-vertical tiers, so it's across versus up-down tiers. Yeah, because Livonia's kind of horizontal. So if they do change the spawns, then I think like the tier, instead of being like horizontal, there should be kind of like best way I can describe it is kind of like quite a bit at the top right corner of the map is your tier 1. The top left is tier 2. You go around like tier 2, and you got your tier 3 with maybe some like tier 4 spots here, there, and everywhere, just like in little tiny areas. And then you got your tier 4, which is the bunker. Providing they do stick to the like 1 to 4 tier zones. I think they should do that.
they just have to change the spawn sites, won't they? Change them from east of the map to west of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he says, I still think BI should make the tier 1 loot spawn pristine. So if you want durable gear, you have to go up north again. Honestly, I think tier 3 and tier 4 should be more pristine. Like, when you spawn, you should have damaged, badly damaged. Maybe a rare chance to get worn, and then the more you progress, the more pristine stuff you get. So it kind of rewards you for you playing and staying alive for more. That's the way I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think.
I'd go with that. I'd definitely go with that, yeah.
In this comment here, I want to read, and I'm excited to read this one. So just prepare for a paragraph and a half. This is what Mike Doherty was saying. For me, the update was a great concept that fell short in a couple ways. In regards to Livonia, I will say the bunker is phenomenal, and the other changes to the map are very well made. However, I still think the major flaw with Livonia's central map and southern map being very empty is still a problem. Not enough major content was added to the entire map in my opinion. The changes that we did see around the map look fantastic, but they don't really change the map. For examples, the apartments in Topolin, etc., they just put work into the wrong areas, wrong things, in my opinion. It doesn't feel like the Livonia overhaul we were expecting. I do hope they're still working Livonia changes, maybe something we can see in future patches. That's definitely a good point. Vehicle changes. Vehicle stability has improved overall, however I've noticed much more desync around the cars. But the biggest problem is the vehicle handling. They've become almost impossible to drive at any speed above 20 miles per hour. Feels like you're constantly driving on the ice. Overall, in its current state, I think the 118 vehicles were much better, unfortunately.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I guess it depends what vehicle you're driving to start with. So, if you do get one of the Humvees even, if you do end up with one of those, that is really good drivability, traction on all surfaces. However, I get what they're saying about the other vehicles, because they are... I mean, you tell me, guys, commenting on the stream now, are you sliding everywhere? I have found that. I am sliding a lot more. Other than that, it's got to be a Humvee.
Yeah.
That's the only... And there's only 3 per server, so,
The be and end all of it all, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Inertia is again a good concept, but executed poorly. The inertia in general is a bit too extreme at the moment, considering that it's not related to character weight, which is something I wouldn't say disappointed about, but I just hope that idea was considered at some point, because having it tied to your weight, it just makes sense, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense that somebody, with no gear can move around the same as somebody who's completely, filled to the brim with God knows what,
Yeah. I think all they've done is adjusted the stam, haven't they? I think that's how they've kind of gone with.
I think it's a case of adjusting the stamina and then obviously just adding a little bit more, I wouldn't say clunkiness, because that's not the right word, but just weight to the character overall. But I do like how it is. I still do like how it's adjustable, but obviously more needs to be done, in my opinion. The inertia in general is a bit too extreme at the moment, considering that it's not related to character weight. Someone with nothing but a t-shirt feels like they are running around fully kitted. But the major problem is just the bugs. Getting stuck in objects, which is being mostly fixed. This is totally game-breaking, to be honest. They shouldn't have added it in its current state. The rest of the patch is pretty good. The new weapons are great. Loads of great fixes and changes. One more issue again, though, is the ratio of things being damaged to worn. Feels like almost every single item is damaged or badly damaged. A little too extreme.
The badly damaged and damage is kind of correct. I know they did change that a little bit, didn't they, with one of the hotfixes?
Yeah, they've kind of... Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff proper damaged, There's pretty much everything at certain times is damaged, isn't it? So...
pretty much, yeah. I still will say I'm still annoyed about the car radiator situation. You've introduced all these cool interesting items to fix his stuff and systems to, you know, have, you know, more of a focus on that badly damaged stuff. But one of the core parts of the car, which you need to run it, and it's hard to come by, and it's always badly damaged, like, bruh. Stop it. Fix it. Unironically, fix it, game. No, but I joke. But there has been like loads of really interesting and divisive discussions around this update, which to me is fantastic.
Oh, I agree. It's,
the last thing I want people to do is to say, "Oh, yep, this update's the best. Well done," and there's like little to no criticism.
Oh, you've got to have criticism. There's got to be
absolutely.
things. There's always things that need to be addressed. So, and any development team would want that more than the good stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, happy days.
Any team that's kind of worth their weight would be wanting that criticism, which they've had
Of course.
a lot in droves. And they've been changing things. You know, the hotfix
They
has
have, to
kind
be
of
fair.
proven that. You know,
Yeah.
so props to them. Props to them for keeping on
Yeah,
with that. Absolutely.
absolutely.
So we're kind of changing things up with the show, everybody. So typically we just go from topic to topic to topic to topic. Now we're doing things in segments, all masterminded by Cobra lad here. So we've got a segment here, the mod spotlight, which Lemons was also going to participate, but I don't see him. Git. My first episode back and he's not here. Good. What still stumps me with BI, they usually ignore the player base with what they add or implement things nobody asked or was thinking of, which I think is a good thing, in a sense. Yeah, sure, they should add things that people want, but they should be adding things that people don't expect. That's kind of
that.
mindset I have. So, obviously with this mod spotlight, we've got my mod here, apparently.
Well, I've added it in there, mate, because obviously a lot of people I've seen, a lot of servers are adding it in right now.
Yes.
And I've looked at it. I've played servers with it on, and even though you created it, I felt it was one of the highlight mods. There's a few others I'll bring up in a minute, but I do think that's definitely one that should be brought up.
I mean, yeah. Okay. I made it. It's a cool mod. There we go. No, but that mod. I mean, I don't mind talking about it a little bit more. It's a bit of a shameless self-plug. A lot of Lad Red Nines in the chat there. Darkwing Tate. But it was actually funny. So I've been a bit... Because it's my most popular mod I've ever made. Like, just me made. So I've been kind of like Googling it to see like if anybody's made any videos about it. Because I like to make sure that if there's any bug reports out there, I just look as far and wide as I can. And I actually found an old post of mine from 2017 on DayZ RP. And it was me talking about DayZ implementing a lighting overhaul. That was 5 years ago and I've done it.
How long did it take you to make it? How long was that taking?
Including the time that I took where I just shelved the idea, about 3 or 4 months. And it was primarily me making a config change, packing the mod, opening up a test server, testing it, closing it, going back, changing another value, and calculating the differences between like the vanilla configs and how they get their numbers for their lighting, and kind of emulating that as best as I can with my own style and like settings, which was great. And then the mod idea kind of like changed, where it was like, what if I do my own skybox? I think that'll be interesting. So then I learned how to do that. I already kind of knew how to do that, so I just decided to do it. And the Sky Z guys were really like, they congratulated us, and they were like, good one. I was like, oh my god, they're not going to hit my guns. Nice. And then more changes like started happening based on feedback. Like recently I got comments about the winter maps, that during the day when it's cloudy, it's very dark and you can't see.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, just use it like a torch. And then I found out that torches don't work during the day. You can switch them on, you can light them, but there's no light.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed that. So there's a lot of more light sources which will show up during the day, but there's also the fact that if you switch on like a flashlight during the day, you can barely see it. So I wanted to change that as well, so I did. And then there was night vision stuff, which I then changed, made it really bright during the day. So if you use it during the day, it's blinding.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be more beneficial for you at night, because that's its purpose. Hey Zion, hope you're keeping well.
Yeah,
And now
Zion,
I've got another idea for it, and I hope people like it. But it's going to be another PPE effect. And it's a constant vignette, or however you pronounce it, around the camera. And it's, the kind of, like Dance to Jesus' style of pictures. I want DayZ looking like that in real time. And I want that to be toggleable by the player. But I want it done in a way so if you have it on, it doesn't have a benefit over having it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't want that unfair advantage. That's kind of the idea that I have next, but PPE effects are hard. I don't know how to work with them properly. I've just kind of done like little bits of that. But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed working on the mod, and it's like I've got some really cool ideas for it, more that I'm not going to disclose for obvious reasons.
Just not yet. Yeah.
Just not yet. You guys will see. But no, I was really surprised. I was honestly expecting I'd get maybe a couple of thousand, if that. Like, a bunch of small servers will end up using it, and then there you go. And then I found out it was added to the Zero servers, and then the Life servers, and then it was added to a bunch of role player servers and a bunch of Russian servers, and it just kind of piled on and on and on.
Yeah. I've seen everyone I've looked at, pretty much bar 3 has now got your mod. So interesting.
Yeah.
Taken off.
Yeah. So maybe one thing I wouldn't say I'm annoyed at, but it has been it's been an issue, is that a few modded maps now have their own custom lighting.
Okay, yeah.
And they've got like Sky Z integrated, which my mod can't overwrite.
See, yeah.
But you can still use the lighting config, but with every like kind of incompatibility I find, I always update the mod page. Like there's compatibility issues section just entirely on itself. And it's stuff like, if you use the 4th lighting setting with Banov, it's going to turn everything pitch black. And then if you use it on Deer Isle, switch your personal light off, because something Deer Isle does to the lighting base messes with it. So like conflicts of mind, so it's kind of like, right, do this, do that, make sure it's all good. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. One mod I do want to kind of like share a spotlight on is actually Cannabis Plus.
Absolutely.
And we're actually talking with Iceblade a little bit. I'm going to see if we can... I kind of want to talk to him about it. So I'm going to see if we can get him in. Do you want to shoot him a message to see if he wants to come in?
Yeah, I'll get on with that, mate. Too soon.
Yeah, fab. Good stuff. Good stuff. But Iceblade and Dumpgra have been working very hard on like the new update for Cannabis Plus as well. And it's really awesome. Really, really awesome.
Well, speaking of which, message on, just sent him. So speaking of which, I saw Ice's video on this, and it's doing really well actually. He'll talk about the figures no doubt in a minute. He's doing really well with it. But I tried it out on one of the servers I was playing, and again, it was a very different way of growing your crops there. But it did look pretty cool. I got to say, I enjoyed it.
Yes.
And here's the man. Here's the man. Hey, how you
Hello,
doing?
Iceblade. How
Hello.
are you?
Good.
No. You have to kneel. You have to lean over. I'm just like, haha. Fuck you. No,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
joking.
I'm not as professional.
Mate, professional. Pick one. But yes, I would love to pick your thoughts about Cannabis Plus. Tell us, kind of like, just tell us a little bit about the mod first off. I mean, mostly everybody, if not everybody, does know about Cannabis Plus, but I'd love to hear more of
Yeah.
your thought process about this new update.
Right. So, obviously this is something I would have loved to create from the beginning, except that like at the beginning I didn't know how to mod, didn't know how to script, didn't know how to model anything. So, it's been a long time coming. I've been working on this for over a year, and like one person would leave the team and then come back, and like somebody else would join, and so there's like 5 different hands in the pot of like people trying to help out and code, but then that also creates issues of like,
Yeah.
what did this person do? I have no idea, and how does this work? And so it's been a lot of work and a lot of time coming, but it's something that I wanted from the get go,
Yeah.
and I guess essentially the whole premise behind this update was to improve, try to create more quality of life improvements, and I know people are having some issues with that, saying like, oh, it's so much more difficult. And that's maybe a little bit our fault for not explaining some of the more basic ways that you can still do it,
Yeah.
because you can still like use the handcrafting methods and everything. So essentially nothing's changed except for the drawing post, but I mean it's up to the server owners to kind of balance that into their grow times, and like so that everything like works out, and the
Yeah.
default grow times, we did time everything and made sure that that everything is still like around the same time to like get going and get started. And so a lot of people are complaining and stuff, but I mean, come on, by the time you're ready to grow weed, like, are you not going to have a rope and an axe to like cut down a tree and
Yeah,
put
like
together a drying post? Like, and it just creates something more unique and I don't know, better in my opinion.
yeah.
A lot of people, I guess the biggest complaints are like, oh, there's just so much work to do now. But I mean, the whole premise of the mod and why pretty much all servers use it is because it's an economic mod.
Yeah.
So like before Cannabis Plus, and this is one of the reasons I created it initially, was because I play on a server and the only thing to do was to collect guns, basically, because they're the most valuable items, and bring them back to the trader and sell them for cash, and that's the way you make money, right? And there's no other way to make money. And so that's essentially what this server, or what this mod was all about. And so yes, maybe it's a little bit more work, but at the same time there's quality of life improvements, and like being able to put your stuff into the workbench and then let it go and walk away from it while you go and keep building your base or whatever, right? And yeah.
So I tested this out. I tested this out on a server a couple of weeks, a week and a half ago.
The criticisms.
Not at all. Not at all. So the good thing is, obviously, for the modded servers, a lot of the workbench and the material, the two, I forget what it's called now, the wrapper and the other machine. I forget what's the other machine called?
Wrapper
bagger?
and bagger. Yeah,
That's it.
so
Yeah.
Bagger and then the wrapper for wrapping bricks.
That's the one. That's the one. So to set it out was relatively easy, and of course on modded servers, then a lot of servers will allow that to be sold at traders or whatever else. Those parts, I'm sure you can find them in, down to their own economies, isn't it? But so the one thing I loved, especially from an immersion point of view, was the drying posts. So once you've attached those stalks to the posts, it actually looks really, really nice. And obviously the timings for growth and everything else, obviously down to server owners to resolve that. But I actually quite enjoyed the process. I think the one thing I found, again, varies between servers, is if those individual servers make it arduous by every stage of that taking half an hour to an hour, that's when people will probably get a little bit, do you know what, I'll do it the way before. But I think if they've set their timings right, or not as long, I mean, I'd use it now. And I think some of the feedback on the chat is that already, I think Zion and a few others have said they prefer it now with this mod than what it was before. So, you know, I thought it was really good, to be fair. I enjoyed it. And I think it's another aspect that we haven't seen before. So, yeah, I think it's a good thumbs up, mate. I like it.
Yeah, I'm glad. We definitely want to do more. Like, maybe like maybe it'll dry faster if you dry it indoors or something, you know, like where the sun has to be shining, or like, I don't know, everything you can imagine. I imagine we could probably do. It's just time, right?
You know what you should do?
What?
Not make it shit. No, I'm joking. What you should do is you should have certain lights that you connect to a generator. Or maybe have grow lights, or maybe, you know, you can find like packable grow tents where you can plunk it in, zip it up, and then you got like a trigger or something like that. So if it detects like the plant in there with these lights on, you can maybe attach it as a proxy, switch it on, and when it's all working and that, it can make it grow quicker or more potent, or like more quantity or something like that, compared to doing it outdoors, you know? Maybe something like that. I think that would be a really interesting thing.
Well,
I wanted to do... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll talk after.
I was just gonna say, we definitely want to do like greenhouses and flower pots or whatever, like, because you know, if you... Some people install, say, MSP strictly just for those, to have the ability to grow your cannabis plants in. But then you have like all this other stuff in MSP that maybe you're not using or whatever. So like, it makes sense for Cannabis Plus to have like the growing stuff, right? But yeah, we also want to do more strains. Sorry. As well as like eventually like male female, like being able to breed. But yeah. What were you gonna say, Cobb?
I'm going to send you a link after with... I did exactly that. I know it doesn't make any effect on the mod at the moment, but I did set up generators with lights shining on the greenhouses. So I'll show you what I did. Maybe that maybe that can be used at a later date. That I thought it looked pretty cool, to be fair.
Cool. Yeah. Send that over.
Excellent.
But yeah, if you do add that to you know, your next update, you know, I want full credit.
Comments.
I want full credit.
I want
full credit.
100%
of the entire mod.
Idea.
No. I want the whole mod. Subscriber count, baby. No, but I was
getting a little overzealous there with your 15,000 subscribers.
Mate, what can I say? I'm a high roller.
I'll be catching you. Don't worry about that.
No, but I'm really happy that you've got this.
Said collab with Vlad's Lighting.
I know lights.
You know lights.
I know lights. That's my specialty, lights. No, but I'm really happy that you managed to go and get this update done. I know, because it's been yourself and Dump that's been working on this for quite some
forever.
time.
And Cooley helped before that, and he been helping a little bit lately. But yeah, it's like I said, it's been almost a year in the making, and essentially an update comes out and something breaks. It's like, fuck. Now you have to go and figure out what broke, and then make sure that works with the new update. And anyways, finally got the update out. I'm so happy about it, to be honest. And we've put
We-
out a couple hot fixes now, fixing
Yeah,
some of the
some bits
issues.
and bobs.
Yeah, we did massive amounts of testing too. So I was so overwhelmed
Surprised.
with the amount of tickets we've gotten.
See, that's the thing. It's like you can't take an account for like every single server setup, every single like mod compatibility, assuming those are kind of like some of the issues that pertain to it.
That's just it. So like we tested it in vanilla, right? And so like when you disassemble your grind post, you get a log back, right? But if
Right.
you have a server that lets you stack logs, it'll actually give you 10 back because it'll give you a full stack. So it was like a log dupe. People were saying
Oh
log
dear.
dupe. So we had to
Oh
change that.
no.
Simple things like that are like easy to fix or whatever, but
Yeah.
there definitely are other mod compatibilities that we're working on, but obviously those are not like the massive priority. My priority is to get it working very nicely with vanilla, and after that we'll be going towards mod compatibilities
Mhm.
and then working on even more content.
So I've got a question for you, Ice. What is your
Of
next
course.
project
For Cannabis Plus or for something else?
for whatever it is you've got going on in that factory there?
So I'm gonna take a break from Cannabis Plus for a bit just because I kind of need that break, right? And I'm gonna be working on my own community, which is called Genesis, which actually it runs MapLink as well, like from your last video. You had the extraction points
extraction
there.
point. Yeah.
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 So we do
Yeah.
something similar, except I don't know about the ones you were running on the Travelers, but instead of like using full multiple maps, at least for now, you can just travel to. We're using Deer Isle, and you can just travel to different points in Deer Isle as like little excursions you can do or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's that project, Genesis.
Interesting.
I think I probably have a
Genesis.
link in my profile if anyone wanted to look it up on Discord.
Absolutely. We can put it out there, lad, can't we?
Yeah, that'd be no problem at all. I'll
Plug it.
Nope. Since you've said that, I'm not going to now. Sorry.
Oh man.
Your last chance, boy. No, I remember Genesis. I really enjoyed the stuff for what it is, and you know
fun.
the
We have player
overhaul.
markets.
Yeah, like with what you've been working on, I can't wait to see it fully in action.
Yeah.
More time
It's a big.
go
It's
into
a big project.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, servers and communities like that are very, very hard work, and I've got a lot of respect for people who actually maintain that. Because,
Yeah.
if I was a server owner and somebody came to me with an issue like, "Hey, I had this, my car flipped over, it's broken because of DayZ," I'd be like, "Get better internet than."
Yeah.
I would be a dick. I wouldn't actually. I'd probably
I
completely.
mean, you kind of have to
an
unless you have like a
absolute
ridiculous support staff, but like, I don't know. I think people have gotten too, what's the word? Like complacent, where they're like they expect like, oh, the game's broken, so you need to like fix that for me, or like do something for me to make it like so that I didn't lose this item. Whereas back in the day when I was playing DayZ mod, it's like you fall in through a building and break your legs, like, whoa, that's just what happens.
Just
That's the game, right?
Just
Yeah,
DayZ
game,
things,
yeah.
unintended game features.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember back in Alpha when you would like walk out of a shed and you would just randomly kill you or break your legs?
Yeah.
Those were the days. Eh, God, bloody hell. No, but it's. Were you when you finished testing everything and you were finally there? Because you made a video about it, which I want you to put in the chat
You
as
want me to
well.
put it in the chat? Maybe
Yeah,
that.
for Cannabis Plus. Yeah, plug yourself in. Plug yourself. But were you scared to upload the new update, or were you just kind of like, it's finally done, let's just get out there?
Funny you bring that up. I'm always scared. Every time. Like you have, I mean, it's, I don't even know at what point, probably not even that much, but like I have like 1.4 million subscribers or like whatever the hell it is. And it's like, you're about to like press a button that's going to fuck up their day or not fuck up their day, And it's like, So, and then like it's bad enough when you put out a perfect update, and I think we have a pretty good track record at Cannabis Plus of like putting out a decent update and not like completely destroying servers and going to bed or kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a little bit stressful. Definitely, I go over things like I don't even know. Like I think I went over everything 5 times. I tested everything back to front like 3 times, and we
Yeah.
still ended up with a shitload of like not major errors, but like
Small little
players
things.
just find little things that like
yeah.
why the fuck would you do that? Like one of the bugs right now, if you take, because the way to dismantle your drying post is to just take the rope off, and
Yeah.
it just turns it into a rope,
Yeah.
wooden log on the ground. If you take the rope off and put it into the drying post inventory and drop it, it dismantles it and poofs the rope, and all you have is a wooden log on the ground. And someone mentioned that. I was like, well, why would you even do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? But anyway, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So all these little things that like come up that like people do that you're like, well, how did you even come about this? But yeah.
That's the thing. You just never really like truly understand how people can like bring up those ideas, like, or like those situations for a bug report.
Yeah,
And
people find a way to fuck shit up.
What's going on in chat here?
No, I think BWAD has jumped in, I think, or some of.
Oh, we've been raided by BWAD and his crew. Oh, oh! All right, guys, we've got to maintain our professionalism. Hi. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for coming into the stream. Thank you very much for the raid. I hope you have all enjoyed your time with BWAD. Much appreciated. Much love to you. Hello. We're here.
Welcome in.
We're talking about Cannabis Plus a little bit, but we've been talking about 119. Talking about a whole bunch of more stuff coming in the rest of the night. We're all going to die of thirst. Do you have beer? I don't have beer. I've got half a bottle of Tango. Is that all right?
Tango.
Tango. It's usually Iron Brew, but I didn't have enough time today to buy any. That's the running joke.
I've got my cider.
He's on the side as... Am I the only one that's like teetotal tonight? Our Tango looks a bit dodgy. Is there vodka in that?
Yeah, that'd be nice. or either that or whiskey. That'd be great. Actually, Tango and whiskey.
Whiskey and Tango.
That would not be a good
Jesus.
combination thinking about it.
You'd be chucking up all over your keypad, mate. You have that.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Keep up great work, guys. Love the podcast. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And it's my first day back from my break, so much appreciated to you. Love you so much.
We're happy
Thank
you're
you.
back.
Oh, stop it, you. I'm happy I'm back. Honestly, I needed the break. But see, it's going back to what we're talking about. See, I just checked your mod, and you've got 453,955 current subs. Sorry, that's went up by
impressive.
9, so it's 164 at the end. But and I've said, I joked on, I've got like 15,000 subs, and that's like, oh my god, big numbers for me. When I pushed my little hotfix, I was scared as well. So I can only imagine.
What am I about to break?
Yeah, like.
Especially when you because you said that these 3 servers or whatever, like big servers, are running your mod, and it's like,
yeah,
are these people going to be like blowing up my DMs in the next 2 minutes? Because I mean, it's bad enough. Everybody gets pissed off that the server's restarting because you updated your freaking mod. But
I did get. I'm pretty sure it was like joking, but they were like, "Why did you update it? It's like peak time," and I'm like,
peak time is going to peak time somewhere, everywhere. Like,
You've got to do it at some stage, haven't you? So
yeah.
Well, the way I say, and I don't know if it's just like being a toxic mod or anything like that, but I'll update my mod when I want to update it. I don't care. I'll make sure that I'm awake for at least a couple of hours, so I can.
Man, I took 2 days off for this update.
Literally upload. Right, see you later.
Lad waited until. Tell you what, Lad did. I bet you, he waited
that'll
until
change.
Saturday midday. That's what he did, and then he pressed a button.
You know what?
Yeah.
I bet you did. I bet it was a Saturday, wasn't it?
Actually, what? No, it was just a couple of days ago. I think actually 2 seconds. It was during the week, which is even bloody worse. I think it was the 2nd, which was 2 days ago. It's 9:33 p.m. I went to bed like 2 hours later or something like that. I was just like, right.
Okay, fair enough.
No DMs, I'm good. Yeah.
Well, there is a reason why I'm on Do Not Disturb and close my DMs to people. So if you got an issue, go to my Discord where I can ignore you. No.
Yeah, so we have our ticket system in Discord too. We just
I
actually
should
hit
have
our 500th ticket. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel though that like I have a responsibility. Maybe not even like a responsible. Well, yeah, I guess like I feel a little bit obligated and responsible to like the my fan base like the people who've subbed and love the mod, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, the servers who use it, and I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
try
when
to
you're
take care of 'em.
serious about it, you kind of do have that, you know,
Mm.
mentality, I suppose. And I suppose it's kind of like, do you feel like it's the same for yourself, Cobra, of like being a content creator, where it's like you've got to make sure that everything that you make is like top-notch quality?
Well, now, I mean, I've come a long way since I started in January. I mean,
Mm.
I'm only baby figures. I'm only on like 7,500. So, obviously, I appreciate all of you, but you know, I'm catching up. But you're right. I've learned a lot in the last few months, and I think for me now, I'm the same as everyone else. I spend days and days going over every little detail, and even then, I'm not entirely happy. I have to get it out at some point, so I keep to the schedule. But every time I learn and I make changes, every time I put a new video out, I hope it's getting better every time. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm the same. I look at everything every time I go. Do you know what? I did that 3 months ago. What the hell was I thinking? Why have I done that intro like that? Christ Almighty! You know. So yeah, I'm exactly the same. Every little detail matters if you want to be, you know, on your game. So I'm the same.
But it's good to have that mindset, because if you don't feel like, if you don't progress, like you're not, like you're just doing it because you want to or whatever, you don't really feel about or think about, is the next video going to be like a better video, then how are you going to progress as a content creator, both like on YouTube, Twitch, or modding or anything like that? You know, you got to have that mindset as the next video, next piece of content has got to be better than the last. It's got to be.
Absolutely. And if you don't do that, I mean, I've got bloody boards on my wall, right? Every week I change those boards. Every week I'm looking at new thumbnails, new titles, new intros, new everything. If you don't treat it like a business, if you don't treat it like, you know, it's your main focus, even though it's hard because we've all got other jobs, then you're just not going to go anywhere, are you? You know,
No.
you have to be good. You've got to keep learning, and that's the key. I think you stay humble, no matter how many, you know, subs you've got, no matter how many viewers. I think you stay humble, always be the best version of yourself, and keep producing the best work you can possibly produce. And when you stop that, I think that's when you know it's time to leave. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. I think that's
Well,
the same for me kind of thing, is like I want to like a lot of people say, oh, modding's just a hobby or whatever, but to me it's not just a hobby.
yeah, I agree.
I treat it like a profession.
Yes.
I'm try to be very professional. I provide support for everybody. I take a lot of time out of my weeks to do this, and I'm trying to make something out of it. Like I just started the YouTube channel, right? And
Yeah.
I'm trying to like trying to find a way to become monetized so that maybe I can cover some of the costs. And yeah.
Well, that's it.
Aye.
And once you have
Get
those
there.
kind of goals in mind, you just gotta go for it. That's the main thing. And if you feel like you can't do it, of course you can. You know,
I think
take some
there's a
time.
really important part of that, though. I do think. Sorry to interject there, lad. I think a really important part of that is we need to support each other, all of us, in those in those areas, like all modders, all content creators. We all need to show support for each other, because I think the community is generally a really good community on DayZ. And for anyone that's not prepared to try and highlight other people's work, I think that's not helping the situation. I think we all thrive better once we all help each other. I think that's a big thing.
Well, that's it. It's important to make sure that everybody in the community can support each other, because everybody's going to be in different levels, and everybody is going to have their own different ways of doing things. Some things are going to be much more attractive to like a viewer or a player compared to others. But as long as everybody has their own little niche and their own little way of going about things, maybe a little bit of crossover here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, of course.
Then you'll be fine. You'll be singing. And
May I answer after this? Can I answer a question in the chat?
yeah, go for it. So let's get that question here. Foxypo is asking, I've got a question for Iceblade with his mod. I asked him a while ago if he would ever make a watered down version, grow weed, roll it, smoke it, that's it, for more RP servers without everything else.
Yeah, so the plan is to eventually do that. I want to actually clear everything out of Cannabis Plus, including all the extra strains and everything, and only have the main skunk strain, and kind of like compartmentalize it. How do you say that word?
Compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize it.
Yeah,
so
that one.
Like, and then like put out strain packs that owners can change or create or pack into their mod packs, so that you can install just like this light version of Cannabis Plus with some of the basic features, and then you can add the features that you want to, so it's a little bit less loaded or whatever. And that's one of the reasons I haven't added any new strains lately. Like I have tons. I have more than enough to like triple the amount of strains we have now. But that adds a lot of assets to it that make the size of the mod go up. And it's also, I don't know, it just makes it a little bit clunky, whereas I'd rather let server owners pick and choose which strains they want.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of changes on the coding side of the back end of the mod, and so we've just been kind of slowly working on recoding everything as we go along, and we'll get there eventually, but it's not I can't really give an ETA on it.
Take as much time as you need for it. Absolutely. Sorry,
You're struggling, aren't you?
I'm sick. I've got pox, bro. Gonna start vomiting up blood in a minute. No, but
Zion, who you asking?
I have a question. May I sub to your YouTubes also and come check out your content?
No, absolutely not.
I need the names or links though. I mean,
yeah, Zion, I got you on that one.
Posted the link there, I think, up top.
Sad face. Yeah, that's what you got. You got destroyed. You got absolutely annihilated. You got absolutely denied.
I think Zion over there is one of my moderators on one of my channels, so I'll send in anything you haven't got, Zion. Let me know. I'll sort you out the links, mate. Don't worry about that.
Fab, good stuff, good stuff. But it's interesting, we're talking about content creators because we've got a segment here that we kind of talked about a little bit before, and it was Dexter, thumbnail artist, etc. I want to hear kind of like your thought process on this, and I'll get the thumbnail out because we kind of had a look at it, and it was actually pretty darn cool. I'm gonna get the stream now. The King's Ransom. I quite like this thumbnail, but can you tell us a little bit about it, like the backstory about this thumbnail, like who's it from, what kind of video it's about? Take it away, Cobra, my guy.
So, I thought it'd be interesting to pretty much do a little segment on the latest upcoming videos of the week or thumbnails of the week or things that are kind of, I think all of the listeners, viewers, whatever, will be quite interested in, who may not get to see every little bit of it. So for me, the last week and a half, obviously as a content creator myself, I do look at what everyone's doing, what they get up to. So I shot Dexter a message via Twitter about 2 nights ago, and I said to him, look, this thumbnail you've got going on, I love it. It's probably the best I've seen during that time. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And Dexter's normally pretty quick to reply. And I'll give you the details of what he sent me over. So basically, what he said was he's got a thumbnail creator at Sinhung San 1, which I'll put out on the chat later, who has created this thumbnail, and I think Dexter uses this creator quite a bit. Now, that there, I've got to say, is the best thumbnail I've seen for a while.
It's certainly eye-catching, that's for sure.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, and the name. I mean, a lot of the titles these days that I see, and I have to check myself on this sometimes, thinking, am I putting out, this 12,000 hour bloody, everyone's done all this thing. But The King's Ransom, I mean, when have you seen that? I've not heard of that. The thumbnail fits the title. I did watch the video. Sorry, it's Ari who done the thumbnail, by the way. That's their name. But like I say, I think for me, if we were going to do a top 3 for the week, that's definitely at number 1 for me right now. And then I thought about bringing in a couple of videos, highlighting a couple of videos from the DayZ community. So obviously, there's a lot that go out every day. I think there's quite a few, maybe top 5 or 6 that go out every day. But from the week, I see JLK's done his latest on the survival in a kind of very close to vanilla type server out in the woods with his tents. So I had a little look at that. That's quite entertaining. They normally are from him, aren't they? I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to bring up on the podcast. Take a couple of minutes. Something that I think should probably entertain people for a little while and see how it kind of went down.
Absolutely. Like, if you've got links to like these kind of videos, put them in chat. This is the thing we want to do is, before I took my break, there was a lot of talk about, how the show was, how it was being run, and, a lot of modding focused content. Modding's great, it's fab, it's good stuff. But, sometimes it's good to showcase like the content creators, the people that put in that effort to create these videos, to create like the thumbnails are reaching out and that, and making stories mainly. So even if you guys in chat, if you're in the Discord link will be down in the description. If you want to join that, get involved in conversations, and if you want to showcase content creators, we even suggest some, shoot them across to us, because I want to see that stuff. I want to see that shit. Fucking nice. So have you got the link for the video in question?
Yeah, I'll send it over. I'll put it in the chat now. Bear with me a second while I bring that up. And I've checked the video out. It's quite an entertaining video as well, to be fair. So by all means, guys, go and check it out. It's done quite well. It actually only came out. When did it come out? A few days ago, actually. It wasn't that long ago. 10 days ago, actually. 10 days ago. So by all means, go and check this out. Video link is about to hit.
Get that in, son.
Chat. Here we go. There you go. Go and check that out. That's the link to it. Hopefully that's come out all right. So yeah, I mean, his intros are very good as well. In fact, the intro for this is spot on. It's probably a 30-second. I think it's 35-second intro. Something that I play with a lot. And a very, very good intro as well. So quite a decent response. Is on 66k views at the moment. So his normal lot have checked it out. A lot of likes, a lot of comments on it. Yeah, overall, like I say, for me, that thumbnail stood out. So let's highlight it. Let's get it out there.
Absolutely, and this is the thing. Like, when you can see people put actual like clear thoughts into it.
Yeah, not just like a bunch of random images of like shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I gotta go, guys. So thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, it's always lovely to have you on, mate. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you, Weiss. Thanks for coming
You
on, mate.
too. Yeah, take care.
Take
Much
it
love
easy.
to you, mate. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, just before, if anybody wants to see us feature some more content creators, if you've got any ideas, clips, or videos, or anything like that, you can always let us know in the Discord. Hashtag wants to watch. Yep, that could be a good channel name, actually. Foxy, get that.
I mean,
get that channel in there, son.
absolutely. I think it'd be. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. Do you want to see maybe a couple of top 2-3 videos of the week, maybe, or every 2 weeks? Do you want to see, you know, what we can come up with in terms of a couple of the best thumbnails we've found during that time period? I mean, I'd like to.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think it'd be worthwhile. Give you something else to think about, have a look at.
Well, that's it. That's kind of like the main thing, you know, because there's a lot of DayZ content creators out there that have, you know, different styles, different unique ways of going about videos. Obviously, you got your bog standard, which are like, you know, really fantastic. You got Warboy, you got the Running Mans, you got Nazar, you've got Zesty, you know, those really awesome content creators out there. And it's always nice to especially hear about the guys that aren't really well known as well. Like if you come across a really unique one who's got a fantastic, you know, editing style, let us know about them.
This is something.
Sure.
Absolutely, this is something that I had a chat with Boydie about this week. So I won't mention a name, but I did put forward somebody that Boydie's going to have a chat with. Very interesting story, and has kind of started his YouTube career a little while ago, just building things up. But it's very good up and coming. And I think that's another thing. Do you want to see a little segment on the new up and comings? I mean, that's something we could probably have a look at as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is the thing. It's like, as much as it is our show, it's your guys' show as well. Like, we want to make sure that you know, especially since I've been away and I've come back, I want to make sure that you guys enjoy it, and you know you're engaged and you're involved in the community, and that's the main thing. So yeah,
absolutely.
But there are a couple of things I want to show off that was starting to show off, and I kind of marks wagwan. I'm never saying that again on like public. There are a couple of things I want to kind of start showcase off for the Christmas episode, and I wanted to kind of do this in a Twitter post, but yeah, boy, you told us no one to wait. So first up, we got these commissioned earlier this year. They made the boards that I posted about some time ago. You can see it's blurred off in the distance. You got the DayZ podcast, and I've got my own personal one there. So you got boards like this, Namosk specifically designed ones. You better get a freaking present. Yeah, my undying love and affection, Marks. That's what you get. We've got one of these to give out for the Christmas episode. So get yourselves participated in that. And there is another one which Sumrek hit me up. And one which I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with. 2 cuts. I mean, yeah, you kind of hard. Don, Jesus, Don, how you doing? Welcome back to the community. I see you've been looking into submission files. And one that we managed to get organised, and I've shown this to Iceblade and Cobra just before, and I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with this. So you may see, if you follow a certain content creator in this Discord who makes some things, you might recognise the box. First off, so I'm terrified to open this thing every time. So
don't wreck it.
Mate, don't fucking say that. So I'm gonna turn off my auto blur. You can see how terrible my fucking room is. So a small kind of content creator kind of guy made this, post about it. Yeah, I'm gonna open it. Zion, have patience. So Ready? Yeah. Gonna. Yeah, this is all you get. This is all you get. So. Oh, and mate, I told this to Penny about it, and I'm like, mate, I'm just gonna open this thing. So. There we go. Pause champ. This will be one of the prizes for the Christmas episode this year. Yeah, I mean, it pained me to open it, but this will be one of the prizes. You can't see. Oh my god! Don't make me move it anymore. I'm not taking out the packaging. No, fuck off! Don't say shit like that. So there you go. We've got the Yellow King. That is a plate carrier. You need light. This is all you're getting. Yeah.
Yellow helmet, guys. There it is.
And there's a little bit of foam on the helmet there for the the nails. But it's really, really awesome. Absolutely fantastic. So this Christmas episode, get yourselves involved, get yourself signing up and whatever else. Get your points in. I wish I could keep this. I even said that to Boydie when I showed when I got it, and I said this to Betty as well. I was like, I want to keep this. This is sick. But I can't, and it pains me. But I know that whoever it goes to is going to love it equally, if not more. So, sorry, King. You gotta go away now. Back to bed. Shh, it's okay. It's alright. Don't get stabbed in the chest again. It's fine. But yes. God, it's so nerve-wracking opening that thing. But that will be one of the prizes for the episode. And there's more to come. There's more episodes. Well, there is more episodes, but there's more prizes to come.
I think Mark's has put up a little donation there.
Yeah, Mark's. Yeah, I mean, I'll take the 1 million. I'll not give you anything, but I mean, I'll take it. But yeah, when I opened it, I was like, oh, it was, mate, you should have seen his. Oh, it was so. The quality, like my webcam can't justify, but the quality of it is remarkable. It's absolutely fantastic and second to none. So you've done a fantastic job of it. Petty, you've done a fantastic job. Keep it up. You're gonna have to do for your Raid Shadow sponsorships for that. Yeah, so do I. So do I. Is it 3D printed? All information on that, Petty, you can let people know about that in the Discord. We've talked about it quite a lot previously in the past. But yes, so bit of an exciting time. I'm really happy to showcase that off. We've worked closely with Penny to get that organised, get that sorted out, sent across to myself. So when the Christmas episode is done, we'll collate everybody's prizes together and get them sent out. And we'll keep you up to date with more prizes. So, very nice stuff. I still want them. I still really
They're priceless, aren't they? Oh, you can't buy them, mate. You can't buy them, can you? So
no, you really, really can't. Hey, Boydie, how you doing, mate? Are you doing all right? But a bit of an exciting time. It's gonna be really awesome. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Cobra?
I said I'd very, very quickly just mention the video, the map link thing,
Yes,
very, very
absolutely.
briefly. So, for those of you that may not know, some of the modders created, I think it's called Map Link, where you can kind of
Yes.
TP. I'll use the word TP very loosely, transport, teleport, whatever you want to call it. I put a video out last week, extraction points, on a server called the Travelers, and this is a really cool concept, but done differently. So if you want to have a look at that, go over and take a little look at it. So basically, the situation is you've got 4 maps. So Essica, Deer Isle, Cherno, and Swan Islands on this particular set of servers. Now, the whole idea of that mod was that you could travel between maps. So once you jump on to one of these extraction points, you can pay a small fee from your bank account on certain modded servers, and then you will be sent across to whatever islands or map you've designated that you want to hit. So I thought it was a really cool concept. Now, this video here shows you how to do it, what the mod's about, and also there's another cool mod on there. And you're probably thinking, well, what if I base up on one island, one map or whatever? I'm going to have to travel all the way back to another one. Where am I going to spawn? What about your vehicles? What about your vehicles? Now, check this out. At the end of this video, these guys have got a mod where you can pack your vehicle up into a parking note, a one slot it takes up in your inventory. You basically pack it up with a spanner, and this is it happening now. And then you can travel across maps with it, with this with the extraction point, and it's just about to show you while lads playing it. It's a little bit further forward than that, but you can just throw the bit of paper on the ground, and your vehicle will appear. So you can travel across maps now with your vehicle. I thought those two mods were pretty cool. That what it's showing you is the spanner. It takes a little bit of time, but yeah. So there you go. If you want to take a look at that, head over, have a look at Extraction Point, and tell us what you think of that. I loved it. I've got to be honest. I loved it. I think it's something that I did ask the question: is this a future, a possible DayZ future here? I'm not sure, but a lot of there you go. Throw a bit of paper, and your vehicle appears. How cool is that?
Okay, I'm just gonna emphasize on this, because what the frick?
It's cool. It's cool. I loved it.
That's crazy.
That
is actually crazy. Like I've had this video like kind of prepped to watch, but I did not expect that. I'm gonna be watching it after the show.
I didn't even know you could bloody do it until I had a chat with a server owner, T, who's a friend of mine, and he said, "Come and check this out." So I went over and had a look, and he said, "Here you go, check this vehicle." I was like, "What's the point in having a vehicle? Because you can't travel across maps." He said, check this out." Man, that's crazy, crazy.
Nah, mate, just you listen here, boy. Packs a Jeep on a Pokemon trading card, essentially. But that's class. That is class. Does it store the inventory inside the vehicle as well, or just like the base vehicle?
That's a good question. I'll go back and ask that from the server owner. I think you can do that, but I think it's down to the config of whoever server owner decides to sort it. I think, but it would be quite handy. Imagine that you could have a moving base, right? Imagine that you could fill up your car potentially, store all your gear in there, pack it away in a pocket in your inventory, your one slot, travel to another server. Well, sorry, another map on that set of servers, and then chuck it down. Christ. DayZ's getting mad, isn't it?
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff, especially from like the Chinese modding community. That is just, but yeah, that it's pretty dope. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, go and check it out. Tell us what you think.
Absolutely. It's Cobra's video, so just obviously give feedback on the video as well. But also join the server, play it, get a good feel of it, give the feedback. All server owners will appreciate that, as well as the modders behind those projects.
Just a quick one, last one on that server. So the owner of the server is about to change. It was heavily modded. They're about to change it, damn it, right down to a vanilla type server, but keep it with those extraction points on and that vehicle mod. So you may well, if you're into a little bit less of the modded side, you may well find that's your cup of tea now. Server name, Marks, is The Travelers, spelt with 2 L's, all one word. In fact, I'll put it in, mate. Hold on, I'll put it in the chat. There you go. In the chat now.
But absolutely, get yourself involved, get yourself playing. I think I'm going to try and work out some time to play it this weekend for sure.
Welcome, mate. Welcome. Enjoy it. Like I said, Marks, they are in the process of dulling down. It's heavily modded at the moment. They are changing that as we speak. Over the next few days, I think they're modding it down a little bit. But there's loads of custom, really cool custom areas in there as well. So enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, I don't think there's anything more that we can talk about this week. Yeah, that was pretty much it. It's been a pretty interesting couple of weeks. Like I said at the start of the episode, since 119's came out, there's been a lot of different talks and that, and I can't wait to see more conversations come about, especially after tonight. And we're going to be back in the full swing of things. Do let us know your thoughts on this episode in the Discord, as usual. But what has been, because since I've been away, Cobra, what has been your kind of spotlight in the past, apart from obviously what we're just talking about, but what's been your kind of like general spotlight for the past couple of weeks?
Well, really, to be fair, I have been just checking out loads of different servers, doing a few reviews, but amongst all of that, going back to the original conversation, the 119 update, I have got to say, I do love the new Humvees.
Mm.
And I'm going to stick on that because I don't... without doubt, the best vehicle you can possibly get. All right, you only get 3 per server, but if you get your hands on one of them, happy days. You're not going to get any issues. The only issue, remember, the only issue is when you stop the Humvee and your engine's running, you need to turn the bloody engine off, then turn it back on before you can reverse or go forward again. So just remember that. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but majority of the time, especially on hills, you've got to do that. But that's been my main kind of wow moment, other than the extraction point. Other than that, yeah, they're the 2 main things for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, for once I've actually got one. So, many people in the community know of the Ariana. And, she's been quite a pretty awesome content creator. They've created the Queens of the Castle event and soon the Kings of the Castle event. She has launched a server called Extremely Vanilla 1PP, hosted by the Ariana. It is purely a vanilla server. There's no mods in it whatsoever. So if you do want a community-run vanilla server, absolutely check it out. Get in a Discord and just have fun and get involved in the streams and the content. It's really awesome. It's just really funny. Get in there, guys, and check it out. And obviously, with what Body's just said, interviewing King Alex Tuesday, Wednesday next week, thanks to Cobra, UK war veteran who was a sniper in the military, has an amazing series of videos showcasing how what he learnt applies to DayZ. Now that is going to be a really interesting one to do. Check that out, guys. Absolutely. But with that is going to be the end of the episode. Cobra, you've been an absolute star. Thank you very much for coming on as co-host, and it's
Welcome.
been nice to us. It's been there, Wes. It's been nice to see you again. It's much awesome. Absolutely fantastic.
Good to be here, guys.
Well, of course. It's because I'm here. No,
I didn't quite want to say that, lad, but okay.
Bro, it's all right. It's fine. Everyone, it's fine. No, but everybody in chat, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. We'll be here again, same time next week, 9 o'clock Friday. Much love to you all, and we shall see you there.
Take care.
Take care of yourselves, guys. Much love to you, and bye-bye for now.
Laters.